Hello. Oh, so here's the thing. When someone says hello, there's usually a response back. So let me just tell you what's going on. You're being rude and disrespectful to your probation officer. You act like you're not on probation. When I say there's to be no contact, there's to be no contact. And now you're using profanity towards probation officer like you're not on probation and that this is somehow his fault. It is not. It's all your fault. You're here because you're on deferred adjudication for injuring someone who's an elderly person. That's why you're here. You're not on probation because he placed you on probation. You're not on probation because he committed a crime and you're taking the time for him. You're here because of your actions and you're acting as though none of this is your fault. This is all your fault, 100%.
I'm not acting like none of it's my fault, and I take accountability for what I've done.
No, you have not taken accountability. Did you take accountability for using profanity towards him? No.
No, I didn't.
Why people think that when you're in a situation where you should be using logic to find what are using your cognitive skills to decide how I'm going to proceed with this, instead you go after your probation officer. And the probation officer, let's be honest, every defense attorney will tell you a probation officer holds your life in their hands, because you know what? Let's say you're supposed to report to probation at 9 a.m. and you end up reporting at 9:05. Guess what? You have not reported at 9 a.m. A probation officer could say, hey, that's a no report. But sometimes they may take sympathy on you and say, I realize what's going on. They're here, but they don't have to.
Right from the start, this judge is not sugarcoating anything. She's saying out loud what a lot of people don't want to hear. Probation isn't punishment from the officer. It's a consequence of your own actions. You can feel the tension in the room because the defendant is still in denial, trying to shift blame. This is the moment where accountability is being forced onto the table.
All right. So you're Officer Wolf?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let me ask you a question. Are you able to go to her former location and get her items for her? No.
No, ma'am.
That's your answer, no. Are you able to file a police report for her so she can get her items?
No, ma'am.
So he can't do that. So what do you want from him?
I have to do it on my own. So if there's something he can help me with, and then that's
Well, see, that's the thing. Now, when you're before me and you're looking at potentially going to prison, now you're like, oh, well, he can't help me with that. He's told you that. Be an adult, solve your own problems. This is supposed to be problem solving. That's why you're on probation, for anger management issues, because you can't problem solve. I don't know, maybe you never were taught to problem solve, but if he's telling you, no, he can't do that, that's not in his job description, then there's no need to use profanity against him. He's told you, I can't do it.
Judge, if I could
Yes.
speak for a minute. Throughout my time working with Ms. Holmes, it's been pretty apparent that she has a pattern of not taking responsibility or accountability for her behavior. This last incident just kind of made it painfully obvious how there's a deeper issue.
Mhm.
There's a heart issue. Until she can get her heart right, this pattern of behavior is going to continue for her throughout her life.
Mhm.
And she's going to continue to be a danger to herself, to the community, to her victim, everybody. She needs to get her heart right and realize that choices and actions have consequences, good and bad, intended and unintended, anticipated, unanticipated. And until she gets her heart right and realizes that this is just going to continue.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming down.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to have.
That's the sound of reality slamming shut. The officer says no multiple times. He can't get her things, can't file her report, can't be her personal problem solver. And you can see the defendant's whole narrative start to crumble. This is the part viewers rarely see. The bureaucracy, the limits of what probation can and can't do, and how people still expect them to fix their lives.
To start using your cognitive skills and your problem solving. That's it. When somebody tells you they can't do something, then they can't do it. If somebody tells you, no, I can't take you to the grocery store today, figure it out. He is not really responsible for anything outside of his job description. If he does something outside of his job description, that's just probation officers being nice.
And I understand that, but why would you offer to try to help me when I'm asking for some type of help, and then you tell me you can't help me?
Yeah, he said no. Let me just tell you, here's a perfect example. And I've been in situations where people have told me no. And my thing is, I want you to not send me place to place. If the answer is no, just tell me no and I'll figure it out. He told you no. If I ask him right now, like for example, I had to rush here this morning because I don't like being late. And I was filling in for somebody else on another matter. And yet I don't like it being at a fourth. Now, would somebody go, excuse me, could you go and put gas in my car for me? They're going to say no. Now, what do I do with that? Do I use profanity against him? How dare you not go put gas in my car? He's just told me no. So guess what? As an adult, I got to figure it out. That's it. You got to figure it out. And your figuring it out is, let me get angry with somebody and use profanity against them. And maybe they'll then become so afraid of something and say, okay, we'll do that for you. Not his job. And I can tell you right now, if you don't start treating people with respect, one, you're not going to get anywhere, because when you disrespect people, they don't want to help you. And number two,
respect.
No, you did not. That's the thing. You're still in this clouds. Like these are not, I don't know how your relationships are outside of this world. But in this world, you need to treat people with respect, whether you respect them or not. Like right now, you can hate my guts all you want to, but you had better say, Your Honor, or you better not be calling me out of my given name. And you better not be calling probation officers out of your given name. I'm sure he told you, no, I cannot help you. And when somebody says, no, I cannot help you with something, maybe you want to ask them again. You ask them again. If you ask the third time, you're begging. And he's already told you he can't help you with that. That is not his job. That is outside his job description. If he decides to help you outside of his job description, just him being nice. You need to figure it out. The same way people have children and you figured out how to have children, you need to figure out how to get the rest of your life together. You're on probation because of your actions. And honestly, the reports I received, I will tell you, when I received that report, I told them, file a motion to revoke. And then probation.
This lecture is brutal, but also dead on. The judge compares it to asking a stranger to fill up her gas tank. If they say no, you figure out yourself. The deeper issue here isn't just disrespect. It's a total breakdown in problem solving. That's why the anger management order is so crucial. She's not being punished for one incident. She's being called out for a pattern of reacting instead of thinking.
Probation came to me and said, Judge, could we do a compliance hearing to have her come in? And I'm like, if you all want to do a compliance hearing, we will do a compliance hearing. So this is the last time I'm having this conversation with you, telling you, you need to be respectful to people and you need to learn how to problem solve. How old are you?
33.
You're 33-year-old. You figured out how to get all of those piercings, right? You figured out how to get the nails. You figured all of that out on your own. You need to figure this out on your own. Is there anything else you need from me? And are you employed?
You told me I had 30 days to find a job. I had a business, but all my stuff is gone.
All right, so that'll be a no. So Miss Ferguson, recall her for the week of August 11th, and I'm going to see how you're doing on probation. What date?
I can do that Monday, the 11th.
All right, so you're coming back on August 11th for me to get a report on what's going on. All right, so if you all could give her a list of places for her to find housing. And then we're going to come back on August 11th. And by August 11th, you need to have the GPS on. All right, thank you. And the persons who are here for the VTC, please.
This last section is pure viral gold. The judge literally calls out her piercings and nails as proof she can figure things out when she wants to. It's a jaw-dropping moment of tough love. Viewers will feel that mix of shock and respect because the judge is pointing at the elephant in the room: personal responsibility. By ending on this clip, your video lands on a punchline that sums up the entire hearing.